And racing in the first, a bit slow, Purely. Bouncing to the front here is Portobello Betsy along there with Homebush Melvin. Coming around the outside now is Purely, the rail for Portobello Betsy. Out wide now, getting into it, I Can. 2 or 3 back to Navajo Blue. And the rail back in the tail now is Homebush Happy. They go for home. Radio Gugu's going to turn first. Out wide, Purely trying to come out after it though, but Radio Gugu's got the break. And we'll get there from Purely. Then we go to I Can. Got to third, a nice run. Just in behind here, we would have had Navajo Blue getting home well over the top of Portobello Betsy. And back in the field, Homebush Happy and Homebush Melvin. Radio Gugu gets the win today. Has been going some good races over the last few starts and it gets a well-deserved win. Got a lot handier today. Showed plenty of box speed, probably the best speed we have seen in the first part of the race. Found the lead. Bunny there. And racing was slow. Wheelie over it along there with Buzzy as showing good speed here as Radio Cool's going to run to the lead from out wide now. Homebush Bounce, they've cut away 3 or 4 on Sniffer Brandy. Break back in the field to Working Poppy. Wheelie over it gets into its work now but has got a lot to do. The rail for Homebush. Celia back in the field. Leroy Jethro and Buzzy as they go for home. Homebush Bounce has got to the lead though from Radio Cool. Homebush Bounce races away from Radio Cool. Huge run. Wheelie over it got to third. But gave them too much of a head start and it's very close here for fourth as well. We've got Sniffer Brandy and just up on the inside of Sniffer Brandy there we would have had Buzzy as made up a bit of ground also after missing the start, and also back towards the tail we had Homebush Sealy was back there with Leroy Jethro. Well, the favourite just horrible, ran wide, and Homebush Bounce got a very good break. As I said, they eventually get the maiden win for John McInerney, and today's the day. Good run by Radio Cool. As the bunny rolls for the third time today. Ready. And there they go, and just striding out nicely there was some Jeans along there with filling the void the inside now for Elite Dose looking to get around them. Here comes Homebush Marlowe with big strides tracked into the race by Katoomba. Oh, a bit of trouble here getting around them now is Benji. Also Space Captain's well off the track now. Homebush Marlowe's got a shuffle, and back in the field some Jeans has also got a shuffle. They go for home, and Katoomba fresh up here for Lamis Morris racing away to win this from Benji. A better run, very close here for third between Space Captain, Homebush Dawn. Homebush Dawn, Space Captain, that's very close. Could go either way, not too far away, filling the void. Homebush Marlowe were charged around the outside but then got a check, got going towards the end and also back towards the tail. Elite Dose was back there midfield and filling the void just up ahead of that. Gee, rough race. The 2 was getting on heels, tried to get out wide and push the 6 and the 7 even wider coming around the corner, but while that was all happening, Katoomba just raced away. Bunny swings round for the fourth. Ready. And racing all but slow there was Little Arthur and showing good speed the inside though. Romeo's going to charge to the front, puts about 4 or 5 on, getting around the outside. Corborn Bright and Coolablah Blue. A couple back to Boris just in behind that. We go to Golfing Buddy, just getting checked there. Richless going ahead of that Little Arthur and just getting up on the inside there now with Sarah Campbell. They go for home though. Romeo says catch me if you can. Here comes Coolablah Blue out after it, even wider out of Corborn Bright though. Romeo trying to hang on, and this is very close though. Romeo diving at it was a Coolablah Blue. This is close, it could go either way. Corborn Bright to third, then on crossing there we would have had Boris. They got right away there on Golfing Buddy. Break back in the field to the 3 that found trouble. Well, Little Arthur was back there with Rich List and Sarah Campbell. Oh, this is very close. Gee, though Romeo was looking for the oxygen mask in the last 50 metres, led them in. Coolablah Blue has flown. About there, ready. And racing, flying out there, Dash a Rum, put about 4 or 5 lengths here on Flying Blake and trying to get around the outside as Opawa Shaden does, goes to second ahead of Thrilling Days. Then we go back to Flying Blake, just getting past here by Lenny Mack and also Time Fraud. Back in the field, Joey Secret and Green, they go for home. Opawa Shaden's got up underneath the Dash a Rum. Also a late run, Lenny Mack in front, Opawa Shaden. Opawa Shaden will get there okay from Dash a Rum. Then we go here to Lenny Mack to third. Then on crossing, Flying we had there Time Fraud ahead of Flying Blake. Just in behind Flying Bait to Green, Joey Secret was back, and the other one there, if we didn't call it, Thrilling Days. Big run the 6. Opawa Shaden, just the 2 runs in Class 2 company so far. They have been good. Only 10 cents in it as the bunny comes round, ready. And racing into stepping well the inside there is Boston Lightning along there with the King Selection. Here comes Corborn Douse around the outside, just found a bit of trouble but got to second. Goes second ahead of King Selection. Then we go to Boot the Cash, the rail there for Bullet Tooth Tony. Back in the field, Homebush Misha and Ride Jigger. They go for home. Boston Lightning with a very good abundance trying to come out after it is Corborn Douse, but Boston Lightning got the break at the beginning and gets the win from Corborn Douse. Then we go to King Selection. We'll get through to take third. Great line up here for fourth. This could go anywhere. We're charging home there. Boot the Cash was up there, not too far away. Bullet Tooth Tony. Ride Jika was back in the field and just up ahead of them, Homebush Misha. Well, Boston Lightning got the better beginning, held the rail, kicked away. Corborn Douse came around but just copped a check and just got tapped up when trying to come around from that outside draw. Bunny swings round, ready. And racing took a good beginning too. Corborn Josh and showing speed with it out wide now was in definite order into the fray. Also trying to get across between runners is Coyote Kutcha. Just in behind we've got Mighty Baxter getting up underneath Dogged Dan. Back in the field now is into the fray. He's got a shuffle along there with Unique Tilly. They go for home. Corborn Josh has got a good breakaway by 4 or 5. Mighty Baxter getting home well there with Coyote Kutcha, but down to the line Corborn Josh gets here. Coyote Kutcha I think has just got through to take second there from Mighty Baxter. Very close here for third. In definite order in a photo there with Dogged Dan. That could go either way. Not too far away into the fray, Dodgy Pockets. It was also back in the last 3 or 4 with Unique Tilly. Corborn Josh, favourite, gets home in the 7th. And has been too strong in the first leg of place 6. Win number 2 off start 13. Jumped out well. The sweepers were trying to get around the outside of it. There was indefinite order. Into the fray was also up there handy but got a shuffle. Bunny rolls, ready, and racing. Blue and Curly took a flyer, came out running there with Alpaca, looking to get into the race now as Caesar Chance getting around the outsiders. Individual Lily, a break back in the field too. Red Mover Hoover getting into it, the rail there for Allegro Master. 2 or 3 back to Cosmic Fury, and out the back is Bad Week. They go for home. Blue and Curly's going to turn first to the outside. Caesar Chance just races on by though. Caesar Chance will beat Blue and Curly third. Oh, that's very close. Alpaca, Individual Lily, Alpaca. We'll leave that one for the judge. Then we go back to Allegro Master. Red Mover Hoover, well, he's missed the money today. And also back, Cosmic Fury was back there with Bad Week. Nice run, Caesar Chance. And as I said, has been running very well in Class 5 company. That's win number 12, just raced on by Blue and Curly, who did everything right at the start, found the lead. So locking away now for the Outback Trading Company to get the quaddy underway, all up there now for the 9th. Bunny there, ready. And racing into jumping wall the inside there is Rock on Sprite now going with that. Now we've got Mercenary, and right round the outside goes Elite Road Chaser to head them off. Also trying to come around them as Miss Universe, just tucked in behind Ever So Hopeful. Now Rock on Sprite gets a shovel here with Mercenary. Then we go to Shin Zigzag's got back in the field along there with Dole Parts. They go for home. Elite Road Chaser in front. You know Orange is going a big race up on the inside, but Elite Road Chaser will get this very close here for second. Miss Universe has had a dive at You Know Orange. That could go either way. Getting through for fourth, the Mercenary. Yeah, probably just got a few traffic issues once again. Then we go back here to Shin Zigzag. Ever So Hopeful was just in behind them. Dole Parts was also back. And just up ahead of them, if I didn't call it Rock on Sprite. Elite Road Chaser gets it, came across the field, copped a bit of a check. Bunny there, ready. And there they go, and jumping will centre trackers. Graduation along there with Speed Legion. Now driving up on the inside is Elite Road Class. Big Time Dasher looking for the run through just in behind there of Wepu. Around the outside, Wallace Glad tracking in now, just finding trouble there. Big Time Dasher getting past it. Sweet Ruby Jane's got plenty to do. And out the back is Alamay and Jar. They go for home. Elite Road Class is going to turn first. I tell you what, Speed Legion, he's close enough, if good enough, and he's starting to drive the rail. Elite Road Class just hanging in there. We'll get there from a big run, Speed Legion. Then we go here to Wepu, gets through to take third. Fourth is very close, possibly Sweet Ruby Jane charging down the outside. Graduation's in a photo with it. That could go either way. Wallace Glad hemmed up between runners, and back in the last two or three, Big Time Dasher and Alamay and Jar. Gee, I thought Speed Legend, just coming off those two distance races, was going to pick up Elite Road Class, but good effort by the two. For the 11th, ready. And racing and taking a flyer, centre trackers, Gazillion along there with Freedom Flyer, and here comes Weary Rascal around the outside to go and sit outside the leaders. Back in the field now, High Caliber getting a bit of a shuffle now. Gazillion, 2 or 3 here, 2 Alamay and Duke around the outside goes Enhancer between runners. We've got Big Time Chip and Armistice Day. They go for home, and Freedom Flyer's got to the lead and starting to cut away. We'll get the win from Weary Rascal. Then we go to High Caliber to third, then on crossing Gazillion. Enhancer was just in behind Alamay and Duke, and the two at the back of the field, Armistice Day and Big Time Chip. Freedom Flyer has been in tremendous form and gets that well-deserved win today for Don Kettlewell and Nev Phillips at a good each-way price. Wheelie Rascal landed up outside of Freedom Flyer, but will have to settle for that second placing in 8 High Caliber. Ian George picks up some travelling money. Good luck if you're still alive in the quaddie. Bunny swings round, set to go, ready. And racing in the last, a nice jump there. Fashion and Fame will go to the lead all right there from Magic Arrow. Tracking into it now is That's King. Getting into the race now, looking for the rail. We've got Eglegro Max around the outside of that Pursuitium. Rail opening up now for the Opawa J. Tracking through is Opulent, and Bob's Eye out the back. They go for home, and Fashion and Fame. Well, he turns first with a very good advantage of up by 6 or 7 here on Magic Arrow. A late run also Allegro Max, but it's all Fashion and Fame. Allegro Max gets to second, third possibly Pursuitium, and a photo there with Kennelmate Magic Arrow. That is very close. Then on crossing here we would have had in a bunch. Bob's Eye was getting home pretty well, not too far away. Also there just in behind That's King and Opawa J, and also back in the last 2 or 3 Opulent. Well, maybe we should have taken the $1.70 as Michael pointed out, but just got the start, raced it right away. Gee, big step up in grade, lined up in a Class 1 last time, up to a Class 2 and 3 today. And racing right away, good effort, Fashion and Fame. Big winner in the last